In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
So I live in South Florida, which is one of the largest communities of Haitians that live here. And I've lived in Florida since 1978. And Haitians started coming here, I would say 20, 25 years ago. And this shit that Donald Trump said has never, ever been mentioned in the Haitian community in South Florida. You know what? They are hard workers. And they work 2, 3, 4 jobs. And the next thing you know, their children are nurses, doctors, etc. And they buy homes. And they are a very close-knit community that takes care of each other. You Americans need to listen to that shop owner or manager. You know what he said? They work and they don't do drugs. The Americans who whine that they can't do this and they can't do that, and life is horrible. Well, how come an immigrant can come here and work, don't do drugs, and get ahead? It all comes down to worth ethic and not doing drugs. So stop this about the Haitians. And you know that Donald Trump? One nation he better keep his mouth shut about is Jamaicans, because we'll eat him up. Literally. So he better not start with any other island in the Caribbean. The only island that he needs to be talking about is the one that we took all these refugees who have taken over Miami and think that they're living in little you know what. Leave the Haitian people alone. And let me ask you a question. When the European Americans came over here, didn't they hunt geese? Didn't they cook geese? I remember I've seen movies of them having the geese and whatever upside down. Are you people trying to tell me that when they came here they ate grass? Fuck off, all of you.
You heard it from that grandma right there. And from what she said, I have actually met quite a number of Asians. And I can tell you for a fact that these guys are so hardworking, and Jamaicans are also another set of hardworking people. And another thing I think, as immigrants, when you remember where you're coming from, I think the right thing to do is respectfully obey the laws of the land and assimilate the cultures of the people, and also get accustomed to the cultures of the people. So for some days now, Springfield, Ohio has been trending and saying things like the Asians are pet eaters. The authorities in charge of wildlife in Ohio also came out to clear that notion that nothing like that is happening in that city called Springfield. And that is the post you can see right here. So let's get into some of the video. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, and your comments are also welcomed in the comment section. So let's get into it. And at the end of the video, we're going to come and analyze the rest of the video.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Legend, and I was born as John R. Stevens from a place called Springfield, Ohio. Oh, Springfield, Ohio. You may have heard of Springfield, Ohio this week. In fact, if you watched the debate, we were discussed by our presidential candidates, including a very special, interesting man named Donald J. Trump. Now, Springfield has had a large influx of Haitian immigrants who have come to our city. Now, our city had been shrinking for decades, We didn't have enough jobs. We didn't have enough opportunity. So people left and went somewhere else. So when I was there, we had upwards of 75,000 people. And in the last 5 years, we were down to like 60,000 people. But of late, during the Biden administration, there have been more jobs that opened up, more manufacturing jobs, more plants, factories that needed employees and were ready to hire people. So we had a lot of job opportunities, and we didn't have enough people in our town of 60,000 people to fill those jobs. And during the same time, there had been upheaval and turmoil in Haiti, and the federal government granted visas and immigration status to a certain number of Haitian immigrants so they could come to our country legally. And our demand in Springfield for additional labor met up with the supply of additional Haitian immigrants. And here we are. We had about 15,000 or so immigrants move to my town of 60,000. Now, you might say, wow, that's a lot of people for a town that only had 60,000 before. That's a 25% increase. That is correct. So you might imagine there are some challenges with, integrating a new population, new language, new culture, new dietary preferences, all kinds of reasons why there might be growing pains, making sure there are enough services to accommodate the new larger population that might need bilingual service providers, et cetera, et cetera. So there are plenty of reasons why this might be a challenge for my hometown. But the bottom line is these people came to Springfield because there were jobs for them and they were willing to work. And they wanted to live the American dream, just like your German ancestors, your Irish ancestors, your Italian ancestors, your Jewish ancestors, your Jamaican ancestors, your Polish ancestors, all these ancestors who have moved to this country, maybe not speaking the language that everyone else spoke, maybe not eating the same foods, maybe having to adjust, maybe having to integrate, but all coming because they saw opportunity for themselves and their families in the American dream, and they came here to do that. Some facts about immigrants. They usually do very well here. They are hardworking, they're ambitious, they commit less crime than native-born Americans, and they will assimilate and integrate in time, but it takes time. So I think all of us need to have the same kind of grace that we would want our ancestors to have when they moved here, with our Haitian brothers and sisters who move here too. And nobody's eating cats, nobody's eating dogs. We all just want to live and flourish and raise our families in a healthy and safe environment. How about we love one another? I grew up in the Christian tradition. We said to love our neighbor as we love ourselves and treat strangers as though they might be Christ. So how about we adopt that ethos when we talk about immigrants moving to our communities, and don't spread hateful, xenophobic, racist lies about them. John R. Stevens from Springfield, signing off.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, like, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for, like, going left to center and, like, a couple miles over. Like, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic. Y'all pay them. They can go over there and teach these Haitians how to drive, because it's getting I'm getting thousands of views on these, and it's going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Like, y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Like, only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them. And who is getting paid? Like, how much money is y'all really getting paid, like, to bring them over here? Like, I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like, it's lame, bro. Like, for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was born and raised in Springfield, Ohio. My grandparents owned a very successful business in Springfield that operated for 75 years, serving the residents of Springfield. And I am currently working on my master's degree in social work. And after I graduated with my bachelor's, I worked in the city schools, specifically working in translation, interpretation, and advocacy for our immigrant families. And although now I live in Dayton, Ohio, I still have very, very close ties in Springfield. I still visit very often. I have family, friends, and colleagues that are living there. And I just have a couple of things I want to say about this whole situation. Do with it what you will, because like I said, I am not actively living in Springfield, Ohio, but I am well informed enough to know that there is a lot of misinformation that's being spread that is not fair for the Haitian people. First and foremost, and just to set the record straight, nobody in Springfield, Ohio is eating anybody's cats and dogs. But there is police body camera footage of a lady, I think she was in either Akron or Canton, Ohio, but don't quote me on that, who was mentally ill and a non-immigrant who was accused of eating her cat. But I have heard that the reports of the geese that are being stolen and eaten in the parks and at the reservoir are found to be true. Now, something that's very important to consider is that the people of Haiti have a completely different culture than we do, and goose and duck and birds are considered a delicacy in a lot of other countries. Another thing that's very important to know is that the majority of the Haitian community living in Springfield, Ohio are here legally on refugee status. And yes, they are able to access our public health benefits, our SNAP benefits, the benefits of our education, all of those other systems, in addition to receiving some type of stipend. I am not 100% sure of the number, but I have heard anywhere between $600 and $1,200, depending on the size of the family, to live, which was intended to help stimulate the economy, because our economy in Springfield was dying prior to this. 3 months ago, when this immigrant situation in Springfield really started to gain steam, I had a feeling that it was going to matter come election time. And I knew this because this situation was just too perfectly wrapped up in a bow. It's just a perfect situation for somebody to take and to blow out of proportion. And I mean, this immigration situation has single-handedly divided us as a community. That is no joke. It has split us right down the middle. And although there are plenty of concerns that we should have about this situation, the fact that we do not have enough resources for them, they are not well integrated into our community. They are not set up. We were not set up well. Our banks were not set up for this. Our schools were not set up for this. Our EMS and our police officers, our hospitals, none of this was planned. But the people of Springfield have allowed their frustration and their angers about these situations fuel them to create community gossip that has, you guessed it, folks, now made its way to the national stage, coming out of the mouths of potential world leaders, and is now nationwide misinformation. And that's what really, really gets me, is that Donald Trump had the audacity to bring Springfield, Ohio, my hometown, into this conversation, not even considering what that was going to do to us, not even considering how that was going to affect our collaboration. This situation is a perfect representation as to why words matter and how things really do also matter, from the bottom in your small little communities all the way to the top and on the national stage during the debates. I feel very exploited. I feel like we have been thrown into this chess game as a pawn. Do you think either one of them have any type of plan to try to help us get out of this mess in Springfield, Ohio? Do you think either one of them can even point out Springfield, Ohio on a map? Yet we've allowed this to fuel our political ideologies and further divide us. And any chance of resolution that we would have had, any chance of community integration and real change that we could have had, is completely out the window. I don't know, I'm just really eaten up by this. I think I'm gonna go to the city commission meeting next Tuesday. I'm gonna sit in, I'm going to take notes, I'm gonna start listening a lot more. I wanna hear from everybody in Springfield, Ohio. I wanna know what their thoughts are. I wanna know if anybody has any type of creative community organizing solutions that could work to help us out here.
I live in Springfield, Ohio. I have a dog and a cat. There's been no threat. No threat at all.
There's been a lot of allegations of animals going missing, ducks being basically
Yes, sir.
taken.
There's pictures of that too.
Can you speak on that? Have you ever seen that in person?
I've seen, the only thing I've seen, I did see a pig's head laying down in Snyder Park.
You saw a pig's head?
A pig's head.
Like it had been cut off? Or?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't really see that every day, do you?
No, you don't. It's kind of surprising.
Wow.
But then our city wants to pass it off as cult stuff.
That's cult stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that has anything to do with, like the connections with voodoo that Haitians commonly have? I mean, in Haiti, it's a very commonly practiced thing.
I'm sorry. There's actually been a couple people that I know that have been told that they were going to be cursed by voodoo.
By Haitians?
By Haitians.
So that actually is a real thing
that.
here.
Yes.
Them practicing voodoo with animals, pig's head.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's you don't hear that every day. That's crazy. How long have you been a resident of Springfield, Ohio?
My entire 58 years.
Your entire 58 years.
Yes,
so
sir.
You don't look a day over 20. Okay. So,
Thanks.
how would you describe what's going on here in Springfield? What are your concerns? What brings you out to City Hall today?
My concerns are security, mostly for the women in this town, the young girls. I've been accosted. I've been groped. I've been followed. I don't leave my house unless I'm armed and have my pit bull. And I couldn't bring them down here, but luckily I knew there was a bunch of people. The education system, it's terrible. And we've got adults going to school at the high school.
Can you
There were
explain that a little
fights
bit?
the first day. There are illegals. They're from 19 to 23 years old going to our high school.
That's a little unusual. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
My 10-year-old granddaughter has a 16-year-old in her class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does that raise safety concerns for you?
It raises many safety concerns for me. And like I said, all the women and females in Springfield, I don't care how old you are, obviously I'm 58 and I've been accosted.
Can you explain kind of what happened in that situation?
Well, I have lived on the south end of Springfield my whole entire life. It is, the majority of the population is black. I've never had any problems. I was at a store a few days ago on South Limestone Street. I was attacked. I was called racist because I'm white. That was their reasoning, because I'm white.
Wow. Well, then you had mentioned about, being groped in the past. Could you explain that as well?
Yeah, a Haitian guy was following me around the store. Literally following me. I asked him once, "Why are you following me?" He smiled and turned his back. The second time he came down the aisle, he was up against my rear end. And I pushed back from him and I said, "What the F are you doing?" And he said, "You don't understand English." So I pulled up my shirt and said, "Do you understand that?" And he left.
Wow. Well, and what would you want people? Obviously, this has kind of blown up into a national news story overnight. It seems like.
Well, they're burying their heads in the sand. Our city commission, our mayors, our people that we pay to protect us, the police, their hands are tied. I mean, everybody's complaining because the police aren't doing nothing, but they can't. Biden and Harris gave these people complete immunity, complete amnesty. So their hands are tied. So we're on our own here. And then they get on the news and they say that we're lying about what's going on here. If you get on Facebook, for anybody that lives in Springfield that feels the way I do, there's pictures to prove what we're saying.
I've heard a lot in the interviews that I've talked to today and obviously seen online about the driving out here. Does the driving concern you?
That would be another reason I don't leave my house, because I have one car. I can't afford to buy another one. I have liability. If one of them hit me, my insurance company is going to say, should have got full coverage and now you're paying more anyway. So
Do you feel like, you guys are almost being treated as like second-class citizens compared to the illegal immigrants?
we're being treated worse than second-class citizens. We don't count. We don't have a word. They just said they took notes on what I was saying and they'll contact me. Yeah, I believe that. Like, I believe I'm a millionaire.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would want the public to know about your situation and the situation of locals here?
Yeah, this is not about racism. It's not about hate for other people. They brought this in on us too much too fast. They should have been taught our laws. They should have been taught some of our culture. And vice versa, we have no problem learning their cultures. This town has invited many cultures, and all have been welcome. The Haitian said something about, why don't we say something about the Mexicans? Because they learned our laws and they don't. Right, they're not using the bathroom in a department store. Display toilets.
So I'm one who never talks about anything news related, but I want to go there today because I'm seeing so many content creators, but also I did watch the news a little bit today, and I'm hearing about this story going on in Springfield, Ohio with the Haitians. I guess, I don't even know how they knew they were Haitian. They get us confused all the time. Right. Anyway, with the dogs, the cats, the geeses, I saw pictures. Like, it is truly a scary scene, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can almost feel like there's like more to come. Like, we're going to hear more stories. We're going to hear about different stories in different cities and states. I just feel like this is something that's brewing and I can't put my hands on it. And maybe I'm in my head, but I'm just saying, like, we got to keep an ear to the street. We got to figure out what is happening out here, because every day it's like it's something new. And no, this is not to instill fear at all. But at the same time, you got to be aware of what's going on in your community, right? What's going on in your city, your state. And, I appreciate those people who are standing up and like, wait, what is happening in our parks? Do we need to hide our dogs? Do we need to hide our cats? But anyway, I'm just talking. Just another concerned TikToker, I guess. Anyway, I hope you have a good day.
I was out and about yesterday, driving around Springfield. I was looking at the giant holes in some of our buildings. I noticed all of the old familiar spots bearing new signs in an unfamiliar language. I watched as groups of strangers walked around the city like lost tourists, and it was like a punch in the gut. A terrible sadness came over me, and I began to cry. I immediately started to think back to when I was little, walking from my grandma's house on South Fountain through downtown and all the way to Snyder Park, going to Wren's to get new school clothes and shoes, the excitement of the mall for lunch at the Blue Fox, or even better, to see Santa, riding down High Street, admiring the beauty of those stately homes and their amazing architecture, dropping pennies in the fountain and making wishes. And now, all those warm memories are becoming fuel to the fire of anger inside of me. I feel like we have been invaded by some sort of pest. I'm angry that my friends and family are packing up and moving away. I'm angry that foreigners are using up the resources that were set up for the Americans that reside here. I'm angry that another country's flag was being flown in our city. I'm angry when I see our businesses and recreational areas littered with garbage left by people that do not know or understand our laws and culture and are making no attempt to learn about them. And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work. People living their life here the way they did in Haiti, angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth, and acting like animals. These are not civilized people. Opening containers in our grocery stores, helping themselves to what's inside and throwing the rest onto the shelves and floors. Pulling off of the highway to publicly clean and gut the roadkill lying there in front of anyone that passes by. Stealing animals from farmers and leaving their severed heads at the side of an old school where children play. Relieving themselves in public. Making some barbaric stew out of the birds that live in our park. This is insanity, and it has to stop. What will become of Springfield? Where will we be in 5 years? The thought terrifies me. Will it be some sort of dystopian wasteland with most of our original residents having moved away and those that cannot afford to move being locked inside their homes, living in fear? This thought is keeping me awake at night. I just want the old Springfield back. I know it was far from perfect, but at least it was still ours. Thank you.
Whew. First, I want to ask if anybody has any videos where any Haitians like eating cats or ducks or anything like that. Please tag me. And don't send me the video where the young lady is actually eating the cat that's not from Springfield, Ohio, that's not an immigrant, and she's also not Haitian. Please don't send me that video. But any other video, go ahead and tag me. Because one thing we're good at globally is taking our phones out and start recording. I hear people, pets are being taken away from them. I hear people, pets are being stolen, being eaten by these Haitians. And I haven't seen anybody come forward and say, yes, my pet, I seen them do it. I recorded it. I got it on a Ring camera, whatever the situation is. Why do you guys literally hate Haitians so much? I just want to know that answer to that question. All right, I have a little story about, experiencing people not liking Haitians for no apparent reason. For example, when I was younger, I remember going to the laundromat with my mom, and it was a lady there. She had a bunch of kids with her, and they were playing with the little cart things that you transport the clothes from the washing machine to the dryer. My mom politely asked one of the kids, can she borrow it? She'll give it back when she's done. He runs and go tell his mom that my mom took the little thing for the little cart from him. And she comes back and she asks, why did you take the cart? My mom said she needed to transport the clothes. There wasn't any available. So she goes off on my mom. She told my mom, won't you bring your effing Haitian behind back to Haiti and stuff like that. And I'm like, that was uncalled for. But my mom, said, take your ass back to Africa. Because you wasn't, she said, you're not from here. She said, the white people brought you over here as a slave. And I was shocked when my mom said that. I'm like, okay, let her have it, mama. But that's besides the point. I just want to know, why? What have we done? What have we done to you guys? I'm not saying everybody don't like Haitians, but what have we done? This can't be real. And this false narrative about Haitians cutting off duck heads, I know if somebody saw something, it would have been here. You could prove me wrong just by tagging me on these videos. Again, don't show me that video of that young lady eating that cat, because that has nothing to do with Springfield at all. And I heard, people saying that Haitians are causing a lot of accidents in Ohio. And I guess Haitians are the only ones that have accidents and nobody has one, because that's weird. My husband just got into an accident the other day and he wasn't hit by a Haitian person. Can you believe that? But anyways, I'm done with that. For somebody who's been born and raised in Florida, Miami to be exact, I've experienced people not liking Haitians for no apparent reason. I'm not sure if there is a reason. If there are, please let me know, because I'm not sure what it is. It was so bad to the point where Haitians were starting to deny they were Haitian, didn't want to say they were Haitians. Again, I don't know what's going on, but that's my take on this Springfield, Ohio thing. I want to speak to my Haitian people now. So if you're not Haitian, please exit left and let me speak to my Haitian people. Lile pou nou mette tèt nou ansam and gade sa na fe. Peut-être moun sa yo rayi Haitien. Yo rayi Haitien tant kou se chien nou ye, tant kou son bête nou ye, tant kou son disease nou ye. I don't understand what's going on. Pou ki sa yo pa reme nou, sa nou fe yo. But nou bezwe fè bagay. Lile pou nale. Lile punale, makone kote no boale, but it's lile punale.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
I tell you what, that Joe Biden, he was losing the plot, wasn't he? I should tell you that immediately after that interesting contribution to international public discourse, the host of the event said that officials in Springfield had made it absolutely clear there are no reports whatsoever of people in Springfield eating cats or dogs. I nearly said cats and dogs, but cats or dogs. Trump insisted that he had, and I quote, seen it on TV.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lisa Hayes, and I am a resident of Springfield, Ohio, and I'm also a registered voter. Okay? I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I'm a great-grandmother. I have family here in this town. You know, it's the first time I've ever spoke at the commission meeting, and I'm going to try to make it a good talk with you. Okay, I would like to know how many of you sitting up there tonight go into the grocery stores here in the city, Walmart, here in the city, to do your shopping. I'm going to tell you, 64 years old, and I don't know what kind of label you can put on this, but I'm taking my cart down the grocery aisle, and I have 3 immigrants strapped across the aisle. Seen me coming, would not budge, wouldn't even, and I said, excuse me. Maybe they didn't understand what I was saying, but I'm sure they understood that I was trying to get through that aisle. So I have no recourse now but to bust through it. I'm not afraid to do so. You know, I would like to see them have some common respect, some common decency. Do not try to bully your way through Springfield, Ohio. It's not going to work out well. Yeah, I don't believe it will work out well at all. I have a 20-year-old granddaughter who works 2 jobs, pays city tax. I have a 23-year-old grandson who also pays city tax and federal and state and all the other stuff. She works 2 jobs. She's pregnant. It took us 4 months to get Medicaid for that young lady, and she couldn't have any of her tests done. I had to come up with $150 for her very first doctor's appointment. It's $150. Then I'm told that when she does get the Medicaid, they'll back it up. Are they going to give me my $150 back? I doubt it. And I know that's not your problem. That's a state problem, and I will address them. I already have. The other thing is that I sat down and I decided I was going to start emailing some of the higher ups to the state. Started emailing them. Within 1 day, they called me and said that they didn't have permission to talk to me because she's 20. I said, that's okay, she'll be home at 2. That morning, she received an automated phone call that she was covered by Medicaid since August 15th. All of a sudden, now she's covered. All of a sudden, now she can get the help. But we can't get through the doors of JFS to do anything. We can't get through it. The line is so long. And that's what we have done here in the city. We have just brought too many daggone people to come in here and be able to apply for free stuff. And here we are working, paying those taxes every week for what? What? So she can't get any help? So we can't get through the doors of Social Security so I can file for retirement? Doors are too, it's packed up there all the time. Thank you.
Okay, Springfield, Ohio resident here for 30 years. Okay, been here my entire life. And since we are trending right now all over social media and people are wanting answers from the residents, I figured I would chime in. Might be an unpopular opinion that people want to hear. Yes, we have a Haitian Creole immigration issue. In the last couple of years, they have dropped off 20 to 30,000 immigrants. The last year to 6 months has been insane. They are dropping them off by the busload. When I say busload, I mean the Greyhound busload full. They are taking them to the gas stations and dropping them off by the busload. But the big thing that I wanted to address, have I personally seen any videos or public reports of the Haitian Creole community stealing cats and dogs and eating them. No. The video that is going viral of the woman who killed and ate the cat is not from Springfield. Do I know for a fact, and have I seen with my own eyes, okay, a Haitian Creole immigrant killing ducks? Yes. They are killing ducks at our reservoir and at our parks. They are chopping their heads off and they are cooking them up. They are also gutting animals up at the reservoir and roasting them, goats, pigs, that kind of thing, which, you know, obviously isn't illegal, but the way that they're doing it and leaving things is just ridiculous. They have completely trashed our reservoir. I mean, overloaded with trash. It's really sad. There's 20 to 30 tents out there that they are sleeping in, and again, just completely trashed. The driving is a huge issue. There's probably 4 to 5 plus accidents a day of the Haitian Creole immigrants solely. They're running into any and everything. I mean that. Trash cans, poles, libraries, garages, houses, flipping cars in the middle of the street, going down the street the wrong way, going down one way is the wrong way. It's really bad. Not to mention, yes, they are here and they are getting a lot of money for being here. They are given money for their dependents. They are given money for food, housing, everything that you would think of. Springfield is a small town of 50 to 60,000, and now almost half of that is a Haitian Creole population. We are considered a sanctuary city. So, yes, there is a problem. Politically, I'm not getting into it. But yes, these things are happening. I know that on the Democratic side, it's all these things aren't happening. Yes, these things are happening, and yes, there are issues. But no, I have not physically seen or seen any proof of them killing cats and dogs and eating them. But they are definitely doing it to the birds and the ducks. Hope that answers questions. Oh, I was gonna end the video, but my biggest pet peeve is, like, I'm a big thrifter, and when I'm at the thrift store or any store in general, like, they will literally be on top of you, like, literally on top of you, touching your stuff. I don't know if I've already said this or not, but yeah, I don't know. Not a racist thing at all, and I do feel for them because the things that they're doing were okay in their country, and they were picked up and dropped off here. But it is an issue, and the things that you're hearing Springfield residents speak about is 100% true. And just because it's not documented with PD doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, just be for real. Also, Anthony Harris for mayor.
I feel like there should be a no vacancy sign up right now, and people are still coming in.
The influx of Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio, has stressed healthcare, schools, and the number of auto accidents has skyrocketed. The state has pledged $2.5 million to increase access to medical care, but Governor Mike DeWine says the federal government needs to step up.
They have to step up. It is their policies that have created these surges.
FBI data shows that violent crime in the city is up 142% from 2019 to 2022. The latest year data is available. Residents are fed up. Bill Monahan, a former journalist here, now part of a group called Stop the Influx.
It's causing sharp increases in rent and home prices, which is forcing people out of their homes. It's causing delays in public safety responses, like police, fire, especially police, or even emergency services. You go out to a site and no one speaks English.
This man says he lost his job and now his home because of the influx.
Did you know that they're eating pets in Springfield? They're eating pets in Springfield. Did you know that? I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
That was a funny one right there. It was the way the cat was looking at its owner. I was like, what are you talking about, Mom? From the videos there, we've got quite a number of mixed reactions about this. Why some people are saying it's happening, A lot of people are also coming out to say that's not true, that nothing like that is happening in the city of Springfield, Ohio. So, from the video, there was a woman talking about seeing a pig head and she wasn't even sure of who did that. So, it would be wrong to tag it to the Asians. Also, I haven't seen any video of someone stealing or taking cats in the neighborhood. If this is truly happening, then I believe by now various videos will be flying over the internet. Also, the grandmother that was talking about her granddaughter not get Medicaid, sometimes you just have to follow up with the DFCS guys back to back. They can have a lot of backlogs, and if you don't follow up, you won't know that you've been approved. And also, there's a report of a high influx of immigrants coming into the city, and it's now looking like it's just the immigrants that are getting the benefits and the citizens are not getting the benefits. So, if the governments are aware of this influx, well, I think they should do the right thing. They should make these benefits available equally to both the citizens and also to the immigrants. So it doesn't look like just the immigrants are enjoying the benefits and the citizens are being left out. So there are a lot of things out there about this Asian thing, eating pets and the likes. And from what we've seen, the media has come to clear it that there is nothing like that, and it's more or less like Trump and JD Vance, they just made this up just to get some kind of sympathy and to also get some votes. Of course, it's election period. Everybody would want to say anything they're going to say to get the sympathy of the people and also get their votes too. So that's all about this video. If you are new, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Bye bye.